welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a makeup tutorial on my current go-to neutral makeup look. I'm very much a neutral and nudes kind of person when it comes to my makeup, and some people might think that's basic, but it's just my favorite kind of colors and tones to wear. And I love how much freedom you have with this look because you can wear any kind of lip color. Like, you don't even have to wear a nude lip. You could do a pink, you could do a purple, red, anything you want, but my current favorite lip color to wear is a nudish brown shade. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy the look. This is the same makeup I was wearing in my March favorites video, and I had a lot of requests to do it, so I really hope you enjoy it. And if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. So this little guy came to play, and I'm not happy about it, and it hurts. So I'm going to start by priming my eyelids. I'm going to be using the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is always my go-to primer. I'm just going to apply this all over my eyelids. So now I'm going to underline the bottom of my brow. I like to do this before I do my eyeshadow. It'll help me fill in my eyebrows later. And I'm using the Kelly Baker Brow Concealer. I've been using this for years. Like, it is my favorite. It's always my go-to. And this brush is also by Kelly Baker. This just creates a little bit of a guideline for where I want my arch and how I want my brows to look, and it just makes them look a little bit cleaner. The first eyeshadow I'm going to use is this one right here by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Stone. It's a taupey matte color, and I'm using more rosy tones today, so that's why I'm starting with more of a cool tone transition versus doing a more warm brown. Next, I'm going in with Dusty Rose, which is a mauve shade, and I'm going to be applying this right in the crease, going a little bit below that transition color. Next, I'm going to take Hot Chocolate, which is a matte brown shade. So I'm bringing the color down a little bit and then focusing most of it on this outer part and bringing the excess inwards. Then I'm going to take a little bit on a pencil brush just to precisely apply a little bit of that brown. Then I'm going to take some of Fresh, which is a matte beige color, and apply this all over the eyelid. So now I'm going to take the NYC liquid liner to apply my winged eyeliner. This is the easiest liquid liner. I've used it for years. It's so good. I remember I started using it because Crispy mentioned it like way back in the day, and I've purchased it over and over again ever since. So what I like to do is when I pull the eyeliner out, I will like brush off each side of it so that there's not a whole lot of product on the end, so you can get a really defined tip of your wing. I like to go from the bottom of the eye, pull it outwards, and then kind of flick it, like let go of the pressure a little bit towards the end, and then I'll go back and bring the wing back. So now I'm going to curl my lashes and add some mascara. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara, which is one of my favorites. And then for lashes, I'm going to be using the Blinking Beauty Eyeshadow, I want to say is how you say it. So here is what they look like. They're really full and wispy, and they're very dramatic, and I really like them. So now I'm going to take the Eyeko I Do Felt Tip Eyeliner. I mentioned this in my favorites video, and I like to go back over where the lash glue doesn't always completely dry. So starting with the skin, I'm going to prime my face with the NYX Angel Veil Primer, one of my favorite, well definitely my favorite drugstore primer. I like to focus it in the middle of my face and then blend it outwards. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. It's a 2-in-1 foundation plus concealer. I use the shade number 3 Light Beige. I've used it a couple times so far, and I know I did like a little first impression on Snapchat, but I have been loving it. And it comes with a pump, yes. I use about half a pump at a time because it's really high coverage and a lot comes out in one pump. But like, do you see how much coverage that is? I mean, that little blemish I had is completely covered up. Has a slight fragrance to it. I can't really place what it is. Maybe like apple or something like, I feel like wintry. Cranberry? What is that one thing? Pine? I don't know. Just forget I said any of that. I feel like it's looking a little yellow on camera, but in real life it's not, so it could just be my lighting. Because in person, it looks good. So to conceal my under eyes, I'm gonna use the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector first with this Morphe G14 brush, and I'm just gonna focus the product right on the inner corner of the eye where I get the most darkness. My lights are really bright, but I don't know if you can tell on camera or not. Like, I do have darkness under my eyes, I promise you guys. So that's why I like to use this first, because if you've ever used a concealer and it looks good, but then you blend it out and you feel like there's still darkness seeping through, that's what a color corrector is going to cover up. I'm just gonna blend this out with my damp beauty blender. I feel like I have to tell you guys that my beauty blender is damp because I don't think I've really ever talked about in the past how you wet this first. I think it was just something that I thought people knew, but I've had 2 of my really good friends tell me that they had been using this for several months and never wet it. And they're like, why is your beauty blender so big? And I was like, you didn't wet it? Like, I don't know, silly of me. Next, I'm going to take the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Sealer. I'm using the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to highlight the face. So I'm going to go one eye at a time because this concealer dries really quickly. The shade is really comparable to NARS Custard if you're trying to figure out what shade you should get in this concealer. I would get Light Medium if you use Custard. I swear this is just a lighter version of MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Like, the formulas are so similar. This one doesn't have quite as much coverage as MAC Pro Longwear, but I mean, just the way they smell, the way that they dry. And I'm also gonna add a little bit around my nose, bridge of my nose, and on my chin. And then a little bit over these 2 blemishes right here. So now I'm going to set my concealer with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, just picking it up on my beauty blender. That sets, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. Now I'm just going to dust off all that excess powder. I'm using a Morphe M438 brush. So to contour, I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. So first I'm going to take the shade Fawn, which is right here, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this shade, which is Java. You can tell by the kit, these 2 are the colors that I use the most. So I'm going in with Fawn on my NARS Ita brush, and I'm just going to start to carve out the cheekbones. But I'm also going to contour the nose a little bit with this shade. Then I'm taking the Morphe M401 with Java, and I'm just going to buff it out. Now I'm going to take the Lorac Tantalizer Bronzer as my blush color, and I'm going to take this Duo Fiber Blush Brush from Morphe. This is the Morphe M427. Now I'm going to highlight my cheekbones using the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo No. 2 using this highlight shade. I mentioned this in my favorites video as well because it is bomb. I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus just so it's even more intense. I'm like, do you see that? Whew, girl. So I'm taking the MAC Chromographic pencil in the shade NC15 NW20 for my waterline color. It's a nude shade and it's really going to brighten the eyes and make them look a little bit bigger, your waterline look a little bit brighter. So I'm going to go back to Dusty Rose to buff out on the lower lash line using a pencil brush, and then I'm going to go in with Hot Chocolate again on a definer brush and bring that really tight to the lash line. I'm going to take some of that Makeup Forever highlight and add it to the inner corner of my eyes. Then I'm going to finish the eyes by adding some Rimmel Lash Accelerator to my lower lashes. So in my March favorites video, I was wearing Kylie Cosmetics DolceK liquid lipstick. I might still wear that today, but I do want to swatch two more colors I got that are new Anastasia colors just to kind of see how they compare. So first I have the new Anastasia lipstick in the shade Ashton. In the tube, this looks like it's going to be the most similar, so I'm curious. Okay. It's a little bit warmer than DolceK. So this is Ashton and this is DolceK. Then I'm also going to swatch strips just to kind of get an idea of the shade. This one is going to be a lot lighter, but I was just curious to see. Yeah, it's way more nude. So I'm going to start with CandyK lip pencil from Kylie Cosmetics. I want Dolce to look a little bit more pink, so that's why I'm going with more of a pink lip pencil underneath. So now I'm going to apply DolceK from Kylie Cosmetics. So here's the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to tag me if you decide to try it out. I'd love to see your recreations. I know you guys are gonna kill it. And also, until my next video, you guys can always catch me on my other social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. They're all at Amanda Ensing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.